Hi, my name is Karen Ellery Jones and welcome to In30. Today's guest is Lance Lambros. Lance is running for the seat vacated by Jeff Perry, the 5th Barnstable District. Welcome, Lance.
Nice to be here.
Glad that you could carve time out of your hectic campaign schedule and business schedule to sit down and chat with me. Have lots of questions to ask you, so let's get started. Why are you running?
Well, you know, when Jeff decided that he wasn't going to run, it was an open seat. I've represented this area for somewhere almost 15, 16 years now in one capacity or another. Did a lot of work over at the base, served here representing the town of Sandwich on the Cape Cod Commission, on the Assembly delegates, and then as County Commissioner from 2000 to 2008, representing all of Cape Cod. So it was the natural progression for me. One of the things that I want to be able to do is take some of the successes we had at the county level and bring them up and work with them on the state.
Okay, why don't we talk about some of those successes that you had at the county level and how you think you can extrapolate them into the 5th Barnstable District?
Well, I was very fortunate to serve at a great time during the county, in my time during the county service as county commissioner. I worked with wonderful other county commissioners, both Democrats and Republicans, and really we just focused on getting things done. We did some amazing things in every department, whether it was the Children's Cove, whether it was our Fire Training Academy, the Registry of Deeds, the Sheriff's Department, across party lines, just working to get things done. Restructured the Cape Cod Commission. Literally, as you go down every department that we worked on at the county, we improved every service. And, you know, luckily, while I was there, you know, I think it shows a fiscal responsibility. We balanced 8 budgets, and we never had to raise your taxes. In fact, I wrote legislation to give more than $3 million back to all the towns on Cape Cod.
Okay. Now, I know while you were a county commissioner, you had some grants and things that you received, and can you tell me about those?
There were grants in literally every department, and one of the things that we did very well while I was a county commissioner is we brought people together, and that's what I'm all about. As a leader, I think it's important to bring people together to collaborate on different issues, and whether it was youth with drug issues, working on the drug court, or whether it was environmental protection, working with the Cape Cod Commission, or whether it was bringing together the Regional Emergency Planning Committee of fire, police, and health agents. We always did it in a group setting. We always brought people on board. People knew they were invited, and we realized very quickly that that's the way you get grant money. We were one of the first people to apply for a federal grant after 9/11 for our Regional Emergency Planning Committee. We got that grant, and they told us the reason why you got that is because you had so many people at the table. So that's one of the things that I did very successfully as a county commissioner, and hope to be able to do that at the state.
Okay, so bringing people together. It sounds like you advocate open and transparency in government.
Always have, always will.
Okay. Now, tell me about, I know that I had spoken to you a couple times about this, where you got a lump sum of money and used it for seed money for small businesses or individual employees.
Yeah, one of the programs...
Because I think that's kind of unique what that you did.
It is, and it's a job program that I think has been successful, and now I want to duplicate that at the state level. About 10 years ago, I was approached by John O'Brien, who at that time was the head of the Chamber of Commerce in Hyannis, and he said, we have this great program that we want to be able to use to help small businesses grow. And basically what it did was get capital in the hand of small business owners right here in Cape Cod. So the county, through our budget process, was able to give them $50,000 its first year and $25,000 the second year. With our seed money, they leveraged millions of dollars more, and over a 10-year period, they gave out nearly $62 million in loans to small businesses here in Cape Cod. At the same time, they created, you know, 2,500, almost 3,000 jobs, and retrained another 2,000 people to do other things. So what we want to do is take that program that we ran at the county level and bring that to the state. I've talked to the different candidates for treasurer of Massachusetts, and they've agreed. They have a $43 billion pension budget that they control. There's some flexibility in what they do, and we've asked them to do that same thing. I've been aggressive and asked them to take $500 million, $500 million of that $43 billion, and set it aside to duplicate the exact program that we had down here on the Cape. And I'm excited to think of how many jobs we might be able to create if we actually have that kind of money, and we can leverage even close to what we did down here.
Right, and speaking of jobs, I know that that's probably the #1 concern of people in the 5th Barnstable, in the state, and in the country. So let's talk about job growth. I know that the small business is the engine of the economy, and people are trying to funnel some money into small businesses. What are your plans for getting jobs, getting people back to work?
Well, I think that plan that I just talked about will be a good one, because what we find out as I'm knocking on doors and as I'm talking to people in the district every day is that it is about jobs. It's about jobs and the economy. People are nervous right now, and we understand it. There's a positive, there's an optimistic look, but they're still nervous and hesitant about what's going to happen. Having said that, the biggest, I think, thing that I can do to help small businesses is to make capital available to them. Just in my business, for example, I know if I can buy a bigger piece of equipment, that'll allow me to hire 2 or 3 more people. There are a lot of small businesses in the exact same situation as I go around and talk to different businesses. Because I run Cape Cod Sportswear, I'm always dealing with other business owners, and we talk about this all the time. The one thing that holds them back is the lack of being able to get the capital. We know after the banking problems that we've had the last couple of years, the banks have pulled that back in. It's been very difficult to get credit. I'm going to be working to make the banks work better with the local communities and to run programs like the one I explained earlier that's going to help small businesses grow.
Okay. And let's talk about your experience, your business experience, because you are a small business owner. You've been president of Cape Cod Sportswear for 17 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about that,
Yeah, you know,
and how that experience of running a small business can help you up at Beacon Hill?
And it really does, because I need to make a payroll every day. I need to live within my budget. That's how I always did it. When I was a county commissioner, I took the experiences from my business and brought it over. And again, I think it's that fiscal responsibility that I bring from being a business person to the public sector, if you will. I think that's a big asset going up to the State House. We often see some of the problems at the State House where many of those people have never had a private sector job. They don't understand what it's like to make payroll. They've been in the public sector their whole life. I'm not like that. I think that was a big benefit of being a county commissioner, because Wednesday I could put my shirt and tie on, I could go into my office at Superior Court, do what we had to do, and Wednesday afternoon I was back at the shop printing t-shirts and sweeping the floor. So I think that kept me in both the private and the public sector, and I think that's a good balance, and I'll continue to do that as I serve as state representative. Like you said, the company's been around for 17 years. We support a lot of the nonprofits on Cape Cod. We do a lot of business on Cape Cod as well as business off Cape Cod. But being a business owner and being able to talk to business owners, I think, is a big asset for me as I go up to the state.